Episode 149, The Freedom Show. An old philosopher once said, "The secret to happiness is freedom, and the secret to freedom is courage." Today is all about freedom, happiness, and the power of letting go. And you are listening to episode number 149 of Mike Murphy Unplugged. Learn, create, move forward. I am your host, Mike Murphy. I'm a one-man band. I'm a technology junkie. I love helping people figure things out, and I am really excited to be here with you today. The goal of Mike Murphy Unplugged, it is to help you learn what you need to know in order to create online content so you can move forward in business and in life. So welcome to this episode number 149, The Freedom Show. This episode is about letting go of the things you do not need or that are holding you back from achieving what you really want. I have spent the past few months aggressively purging and decluttering my physical and digital environments and taking inventory of my business and life. Taking inventory for me means looking in the mirror and doing an honest self-audit. One of the difficult truths or realities that I came to terms with in doing a self-audit is this podcast is holding me back. It is weighing me down. My stubbornness and my determination could keep it going forever, but the reality is that it has become a bit of a burden, and I know that is not healthy, so it is time for me to let it go for now. I have had to remind the self-critic in me that letting go does not mean the same thing as quitting or giving up. It simply means letting go to make room for something new. I have decided to press the pause button on Mike Murphy Unplugged after episode 150, so one more episode. I am not done podcasting, and I might find that all I need was a break or a hiatus or an adjustment to the publishing schedule or a change in format. So just to be clear, I will do one more episode next week, and then I head to Nantucket for a couple of weeks where I'm going to relax and regroup and make tons of video and storytelling content and continue to self-audit and see where I am at when I return. Nothing is permanent or set in stone, but my gut and my heart is telling me this is the right thing to do at this moment, and I am trusting them. I started Mike Murphy Unplugged podcast in September of 2015. I have published a new episode every single Friday morning at 6 a.m. without fail. I started this podcast to help me find my voice as a creative and to give myself a foundation and a platform to teach. I am extremely proud of the body of work that I've created. I would not trade the experience for the world, but it is time to start a new chapter. Now, let's talk about stuff and letting things go. I'm going to start with a history lesson of me first. Before the ink dried on my college diploma, I packed up my beater car and I headed out west. I remember my dad telling me just remove the plates and leave the car when it broke down. The towing would cost more than the value of my car. I appreciated it, but I never really cared about the stuff I owned. I cared much more about seeing new places and the fun of exploring. I had a steadfast rule that I only owned what I could fit in the trunk of my car, because my back seat was reserved for my 100-pound canine traveling companion, Molly McButter. I moved from Colorado to Montana to Portland to New Hampshire, back to Colorado. I traveled everywhere in between, often living out of my Subaru wagon or my VW van. The freedom and independence I had was largely due to not owning much stuff. Being debt-free and not wanting or requiring extraneous things allowed me to be swift and pick up and go when an opportunity to travel knocked. I lived in Durango, Colorado for many years, and I had many hobbies that required gear and equipment, so I ended up having a lot of stuff, but I never got emotionally attached or weighed down by any of it. When I moved from Colorado to Florida, I flew, so I packed a big duffel bag, I grabbed my guitar and a backpack with my computer and some electronic stuff, and I sold and gave away everything else. I left so much stuff behind, including personal items and sentimental stuff, and I never gave it a passing thought. Out of sight, out of mind. In fact, it felt so good being light and free again. You hear me say that I'm a one-man band a lot. This independence is what the term represents to me. The ability to move and do what I want on my terms. This comes from me having control and not being tied down to things. I can pack up and go whenever I want. My mother always said that every 5 to 7 years I get restless and I go somewhere. It's true. I am getting restless now, but I am putting in the hard work in my business to allow me to work from anywhere in the world. That is the life I want. My version of success. And success does not come easy, and I haven't figured it out yet, but I am not going to stop until I do, because I know it will be worth every ounce of effort that I have put into it. It can be frustrating. I am constantly fighting self-criticism and doubt, but I am fiercely stubborn and relentless and confident in my resourcefulness and my abilities and talents to pull it off. For me, simplifying and decluttering and cutting back to only having the essentials is about having control over the things that matter most in life and eliminating things that are not helping me achieve my business goals or moving me forward. It's easy to get stressed and overwhelmed and feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and I think a lot of you might feel this exact same way. I refuse to live a life filled with negativity and stress and conflict, and getting rid of excess is my remedy for peace of mind and regaining that control. The less I have, the better I feel. Fast forward to my current process of simplifying. For the past several months, I have been actively cleaning house on my physical, my digital spaces, and I have turned it into almost a game to see how much stuff I can get rid of. I live in a small cottage. I've never been much of a pack rat, but stuff adds up when you live in a place for a few years. I had accumulated a bunch of gear for podcasting and photography and video. While everything was neatly organized and stored away where I could not see it, I still owned more than I needed, so I started thinning things out. Everything. Even things that are small or you think that doesn't take up much room. It's amazing how getting rid of small stuff makes such a difference. I went room by room, drawer by drawer, bag by bag. Any gear or tool or attachment, big or small, that I did not use or need on a regular basis went out to the pod shed to be given away or sold on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. I still have tons of gear, but I also got rid of a lot. And I didn't stop at gear. I cleaned out every cupboard in my kitchen. I got rid of excess silverware, gadgets, plates, glasses, mugs, spices, pots and pans that I've never used and never will. Condiments in the fridge, cleaning supplies, all gone. The little things you never notice make a huge difference when you get rid of them. I took generic artwork off the walls that meant nothing to me. I got rid of furniture that served no purpose. I cleaned out all the junk drawers and only kept the essentials. I purged pencils and pens, envelopes, and anything in the drawers that I rarely used. Gone. In the bathroom, I cleaned everything under the sink. I got rid of excess towels and supplies and kept only what I use and need. The theme to letting go. Keep the essentials and get rid of everything else. Or as my favorite quote from the band says, take what you need and leave the rest. I am constantly going through my clothes now and eliminating anything I do not wear on a regular basis. Shoes, sneakers, t-shirts, old sweatshirts, hats, old socks, underwear, etc., etc. Blankets, sheets, pillows, books, cables, cords, chargers. You get it. This exercise of letting go is contagious. I took the same mode of attack on my digital and my online world. I once had 10 screens of iPhone apps. I'm now down to 2.5. I cleaned all of my hard drives and my Google Drives. I deleted anything that I no longer needed and made sure that everything was perfectly synced and backed up and mirrored, so I was in complete control of my data and my workflow. Applications on my Mac that I no longer use got deleted. I have been ruthless at unsubscribing from email accounts, and I've even taken it one step farther to delete as many online accounts as I can. Anything and everything I do not use, I delete, as it is one less notification or distraction. So what are the benefits of letting go and cleaning house? Way too many to count, but I feel lighter and cleaner and freer. Remember, the secret to happiness is freedom. Less stuff makes me feel swift and nimble. It reduces stress and overwhelm from knowing what you have. That inventory, it's clear. My mind is so much more focused and clear. I feel way more motivated and productive. I have even made a few $100s selling things, and I don't want to buy anything new because it feels so good having less. You actually just start saving money naturally because you do not want to replace anything or purchase more stuff. And perhaps the biggest benefit is the process of simplifying your belongings. It carries over to everything you do. You really start to appreciate the little things and prioritize what really matters in life and in business. The trees to the forest. My why. Creating the life I want for me just means that I am free to live on my own terms and do what I want when I want. I have done this pretty much my entire life. The only difference now is that I'm figuring out how to build a business that is going to support myself financially instead of relying on jobs and working for others. So my why for Mike Murphy LLC and Murphy Concierge, working day in and day out, creating content and giving it my all, building an online business and brand, all comes down to freedom. Creative and financial freedom is my version of success for my business. Freedom to travel and do things that inspire me and make me happy, that is my vision for success in life. I did not expect this to be easy. I knew it was going to take a lot of trial and error and ups and downs and pivots and adjustments. I recognized an area of my content creation machine that was introducing negativity in my mindset and slowing down my workflow. While I could fight through it week after week, it would be for the wrong reasons. I do not need to prove my work ethic and determination to anyone but myself, and I need to do whatever it takes to make progress. Making the decision to press pause or take a hiatus on Mike Murphy Unplugged, this was not an easy decision, but my heart of heart knows it is the right decision for now. I am not quitting, I am not giving up, I am simply evolving and moving forward on my road to freedom and happiness. And that is going to do it for this episode 149, The Freedom Show. Show notes can be found at mikemurphy.co/EP149. I would love to hear from you. If you have comments, feedback, thoughts, concerns, well wishes, or if you don't like the decision, you can email me anytime at mike@mikemurphy.co. I thank you for joining me today. I hope you join my one-man band, and together we can learn, create, and move forward. Cheers.